Hello YouTube, my name is Peter and welcome to my kitchen. It's almost Christmas and I love the holiday season. I've been baking these little gingerbread houses and I thought that I'd share with you guys how to make them. So I hope you enjoy the video.
This recipe should make about 6 houses. First, weigh out 75 grams of golden syrup into a pan. It's easiest to weigh it straight into the pan. To that, add 150 grams of dark MUSCOVADO sugar and 175 grams of butter. In a separate bowl, place 450 grams of plain flour, 1.5 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Give this all a mix so that it's evenly dispersed. Melt the butter, sugar, and syrup over a low heat until everything is melted and the sugar is dissolved. Pour this mix into the flour and stir it in. When the mix is cool enough to handle, tip the dough out of the bowl and give it a quick knead for 1 or 2 minutes. It should be shiny and quite stiff. Divide the dough into 6. Wrap up 5 of the portions in cling film or else it will dry out, and roll out the remaining portion onto a lightly floured board until about 3/4 centimeter or 1/3 of an inch thick. Using a sharp knife or a pizza cutter like I am, cut out the gingerbread to the shapes of the templates that are in a link in the description. For each house you'll need 2 sides, 2 roofs and 2 fronts. Cut out a small rectangle from the bottom of one of the fronts and this will be your door to the house. Bake the gingerbread in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius fan, 360 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 6 for about 6 to 7 minutes until lightly golden. They will be soft to the touch out of the oven but will firm up when they cool and the butter solidifies. When the gingerbread is cooled, use a very sharp knife to trim the edges to make them flat. This will give a very clean finish to the houses. Now we are ready to assemble the houses. To make a base for them, I've cut out some 11 by 12 centimeters rectangles from a cereal box and I'm covering them in foil. Now we need to make the glue for the houses, royal icing. In a large bowl, whisk 3 egg whites until frothy. Add in 675 grams of icing sugar bit by bit until it stands up in peaks. If it's too slack, add more icing sugar, and if it's too thick, add a bit of lemon juice. This looks perfect. Now immediately put this into a piping bag fitted with a plain, small round nozzle. To go on the top of the houses, I'm rolling out some blue fondant and cutting out some snowflakes, but you could cut out any shape in any colour you like. Onto the front of the house, pipe some royal icing around the door frame. Stick on the snowflake and pipe on windows. Pipe on 2 windows to each of the sides and 1 big window onto the back of the house. Leave all these pieces to dry for as long as possible before you assemble the house. This is so that you avoid squishing the icing. Onto one of the foil trays, pipe some royal icing around the edge and spread it out with a palette knife. This should give the effect of snow. Pipe some royal icing onto the bottom edge of all the pieces and onto the joining edges. Take your time when you're joining the pieces together and make sure they are all straight and level. Leave the base of the house to dry like this for about an hour. Now that the base of the house is dry and solid, we can add the roof. Just pipe royal icing onto the joining edges of the roof and place them onto the house. Take time to make sure that everything is straight and that they aren't moving or falling off. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect now, because we'll tidy everything up after it's dried for another 30 minutes or so. Pipe along all of the edges of the house. This will give it a snowy finish. When you come across the joints, pipe over them and try to make it look as clean as possible. If you're not great at piping, don't worry, the informal finish will still look great. I'm colouring some of the remaining royal icing green. Put this into a piping bag fitted with a small closed star nozzle and pipe a small Christmas tree at the front of the house. All that's left to do now is to let it dry and then liberally dust it with icing sugar.
So that's how you make the houses. They're great fun to make and everyone loves eating them. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye guys, thanks.